Hello YouTubers, just to subscribe and thank you for watching this YouTube video. So I've been watching a few videos by Andrew Tate, and I actually had a discussion with this about somebody on Facebook, and he's all the rage at the moment because he's been in prison for not very much actually. I mean, he's probably in some ways a political prisoner, I suppose. And it could also be that they're trying to hype him up a little bit. The thing is, and I agree with the person I was discussing this with, there is some form of man trying to be better than everybody else, right? It's a case of trying to prove yourself as better than everybody, and that's kind of a negative personality trait to actually have, and it also doesn't help you either. So when people are watching videos by Andrew Tate and he's giving these mesmerizing discussions and arguments for what you should do with your life and how you could actually improve it, and indeed some of the advice is actually good, it's not bad, but it's kind of obvious as well. So it says, eat good food. Right. Do some exercise. Right. I already knew that. Not that I've been doing it that much, but I knew that. Make yourself more manly if you're a man. Right. I knew that. Not that I'm doing it, but I mean, I knew that in the first place. And it's kind of things like that. It's obvious things. You already know this stuff. You know that you go to the gym, you work out, you get healthy, and then you try to find ways to improve your life. Your life will be improved. But the thing I have against all this Andrew Tate nonsense is Andrew Tate has never had any hardship. You see, he doesn't come from the background of having to fight his way in hardship terms to be successful. He's sort of I think he's a good fighter or something. MMM, or was it MMA? So mixed martial artist, and he's done well there. But he's basically started that from a kid. I know he said he started when he was like a teenager, okay, whatever. But he hasn't actually gone from being somebody with nothing to somebody with everything. Okay. Now people may say, well, he used to live in a council estate. I mean, what does that mean? There's many people that used to live in a council estate. I mean, doesn't necessarily mean you're poor. You can be living in a council estate in a house with your mum and dad working, and some of them can even be as high up as doctors. I mean, it doesn't prove anything. Another thing is the type of currency that he had back then was his mother was very loving. I mean, in his house, she would help, she would teach them, she would take them out to go places, and he had a very good supportive network as a child. So he was already on the up from there. And because he didn't actually do anything in adulthood that forced him to struggle with anything. So, for instance, he never went into a flat, let's say at 17 or 18, right? And then had to work his way up from nothing. He's never done that. That never happened to him. So when he's saying to some of the men who are basically, I mean, I hate the idea of calling them losers and stuff like that. The people who haven't had a good start in life and they need, guidance to actually improve how they actually think. And we all could do with a bit of that, I suppose. But when he's talking to these people, it doesn't come from a background of experience. And that's the thing I have against it. It's not, he has no experience with being in the same position as they are. None. I doubt he's ever been on benefits. I don't think he's ever had any benefits. I don't think he's ever really struggled with budgeting and things like that, and also where that leads. And then eventually, as you get smarter with age, you realise, well, why am I just budgeting with money? Why am I not leveling up in skills? I mean, all he talks about is money. right? That's all he talks about, money and business. But there's nothing to do with skills, and your skills is what makes you. So, for instance, if you learn how to do woodwork, suddenly you have a skill for life, and you can use that. And you can also use that in your own home, etc. You can use it to actually change the way you live. If you have a skill in art, you can change the way you live. You can completely alter your reality. And that's more important to teach these young people, because they're not going to just open a multi-billion-pound company or million-pound company just like that. And I know, he says he's been opening these companies. Yeah, it's very easy to open companies and make them successful when you're not the one running them, right? So he's not actually running those companies. What he's actually doing is he's throwing money at the companies. And of course, these boxers and fighters, if they get to the elite level, now very well done for them for that. It takes a certain amount of bravery to get into the ring and get punched in the face, but it's not for everybody. Okay, not everybody can do that, or not everybody wants to get the brain damage that he has. I mean, the brain damage that they could. Yeah, he hasn't got brain damage, but the brain damage that could possibly come from that. But I mean, if you make money, it's well worth it. But money itself, just teach them about money, right? That doesn't come from a working background. That doesn't come from somebody with experience. That comes from somebody with. That's old money. That's very old money, and that means he's never had to really think about how he can actually change his life, where he could actually make it better for himself in the position he's actually in now. So, for instance, if you get somebody, let's say, who's not earning a lot of money, right, and they're not bringing enough money home, and they're going out having pizzas and takeaways every single night, you give them a cookbook. You teach them how to fry an egg, how to poach an egg, how to make a decent meal. They can completely cut the cost of living, right? I mean, I know they say there's living problems at the moment. The value of money is going down, so you have to make the value of your brain going up. So you have to do more with your book, basically, and that's things that men and women need to learn. It's not this. You must have millions in the bank. No. Not everybody can have millions in the bank. It doesn't work that way. It never has. You have to be exceptional at something, but just because somebody's exceptional at something doesn't mean they're exceptional at everything, right? All he does is talk about money. That's it. It's exactly the same as other people in that situation. They just talk about success as a form of currency. But as I said in many other videos, there's different forms of currency. Your health is a form of currency. Your creative powers is a form of currency. Your problem solving, I mean, for instance, when somebody's car broke down, and it just so happened that one of the buttons went off the clutch, the garage was trying to charge this person £650. Right, I changed it for a £5 or £10. Saving a lot of cost. Now, many people would have to work for 2 whole weeks for that. Using my head, I just solved it very quickly. Somebody like Andrew Tate would have just thrown money out. The world doesn't work the way you think, and you need experience to actually change lives. And many of these kids and young men, and even older men, right, who haven't, I mean, I'm not sure if I can say haven't got a lot going for them, but haven't been taught. I mean, even I had to learn this older than I am, or than I was, right? When I was 18, I was thick as shit, okay? But as I got older, I got smarter. And simultaneously, all the problems that start to build up. But then I started to get a little bit smarter. So, for instance, I learned how to cook. I didn't know how to cook until I was about 30. It's ridiculous. I mean, I could do eggs and stuff like that, of course. But I didn't really know how to cook. and now I do. And I didn't know how to do woodwork, but now I do. I didn't know how to do art, but now I do. I'm going to show you something. Let's go like this. What do you think about that? See skills. Skills is a form of currency. It's a currency in itself. You can change reality. Now you may notice I'm doing up a studio in here, and that's something I've been planning for quite some time. And now that I've got a lot of time, I'm in the process of. This is actually kind of nice. I got this from Amazon. I have to go over that side too because the fish don't go over there. So it's going to take some time to get it done, but it's not looking too bad at the moment. This is probably the best angle. So, as I said before, work on your skills. That's the most important thing, right? Because your skills will save cost. The money you're getting, even on these low wages or let's say even benefits, and I've got nothing against people trying to get benefits. I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. But what I do suggest is learn a skill, learn a trade, right? Do something that will actually improve your life. So, I mean, think about something you can't do, right? Can you swim? Some of you can't swim. Learn how to swim. You do martial arts. Some of you can't fight. Learn how to fight. Get a punching bag. Watch some YouTube videos. Make your room up, and then just learn how to fight. Don't be angry about it. Just learn how the movements and coordinate both sides of your body, and you'll find as you start to pick up new skills, your life will improve. You have more energy, and energy itself is a currency. Did you realise that? Here's another thing, right? I'm going to give you a little secret here. The most important currency of all is your health. There are people who have spent millions on trying to get health. They would give all the money away if they could to buy health. And I'll give you an idea. There's somebody like Tate Biscuit who was on YouTube years ago, and unfortunately he actually passed away from cancer. And even he would have given everything he could to get rid of it, right? And then you get people like their mental health. Well, there's a woman on the internet, and what's her name? She's got like over 600. I think it's 60 million subscribers. What's her name? I'm going to have to have a quick look up this because she actually left YouTube not so long ago, and she's one of the most subscribed people of all time. But her mental health wasn't very good at the time, so she decided just to up and leave it. Right, hang on, I'll find it. I need to make sure I know these names because I always seem to miss them out. So it must be here somewhere. Let me have a look. Just make sure that nothing's going to pop up. Oh, I'm not even connected. Just give us a second and I'll get this up. Here we go. Right. I actually use just my mobile phone to connect these days. Hang on. Make sure that's on and make sure the microphone is on. Yeesh. And now the computer's going to freeze. Great. Is it still working? Yeah, that's great. Okay. Let me have a look here. Where's the name? Oh, Jenna Marbles. Right, so she used to be on YouTube, and now she's left for 2 years. And she said the reason why is because people were talking nastily about it, but she also found the business of YouTube very, very difficult. She left. She gave up all of it to make sure she kept her sanity. Of course, she's obviously made some money in the process of that, but it just goes to show that what you think you want and what you actually need are two different things altogether. You could have billions in the bank, but if you're a miserable fucker and you haven't got health, you won't survive. And you think about people who have hundreds of millions. I mean, there's been famous actors who have topped themselves basically because they've not had mental health and health itself. So this is the thing, right? Make sure that you're healthy, eat properly, learn your skills, and accomplish something. And then what you do is then you start doing the hobbies that you wish to do, or you can work with your hobbies if that also makes you happy. I mean, making videos makes me a little bit jolly because I kind of like the adventure of building the scene and making some kind of world. So I will be doing this in the future with as you can see, I'm doing the background as well. This is actually beautiful. I like these. It's like a bit of netting, but it looks absolutely perfect when you put it up. Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye for now. See you later. Bye bye.